All right, everybody. So today is March 9th. We are talking about factoring today. So that's the title of today's notes. What I want you to do for your warm-up is I want you to set up this factor problem with our boxes. Go ahead and figure out, well, where would everything go in these boxes? All right, so if you remember what we talked about yesterday, it's very similar to what we did with the tiles. Our x squareds still went on the inside, on the top left. Our positive 3 still goes on the bottom right. It's our plus 4x that at the moment we haven't decided where it's going to go in the diagonal. So we're just going to place it down here at the bottom so we know that our diagonal here is going to add up to that 4x. All right, so now let's actually go ahead and work this problem and figure out how we can work this problem with the algebra tiles. Without the algebra tiles, really is what I should say. So we need to find our factors. We need to find our factors for the outsides. But in order to do that, we have to know our insides first. So the question is, how do I fill in that diagonal piece? Well, to figure out what numbers fill in that diagonal piece, we're going to use this 4x, just like what we did with the tiles. And we're going to create this MA chart, okay? M is going to represent multiplying. So the numbers you need to multiply are whatever your A is and whatever your C is. Whatever the x squared coefficient is and whatever your constant is. 1 times 3. What you need to add up to is the 4x. So in the end, we're going to be looking for factors that multiply to give us 3, but add up to give us 4. So the only factors of 3 are 1 times 3 and -1 times -3. Well, which ones add up to give us 4? 1 plus 3 or -1 plus -3? Well, that would be 1 plus 3. What that means is 1x and 3x are what goes into your diagonal. Now, you can place them in either spot. It does not matter where you place the 3x or the 1x. As long as one goes in one box, the other goes in the other. Then from there, what you're doing is you're going to find out your outsides. You're going to find the greatest common factor between each row and column, and that's going to help you figure out what your outsides are. Again, very similar to when we did the tiles. So with 1x squared and 1x, what is their common factor? It would be a 1x. Now that I have this piece, well, what's 1x? What times 1x gives me 1x squared? Well, that would have to be 1x. What times 1x gives me 3x? Well, that would be plus 3. What times 3 gives me 3? That would be plus 1. And 1 times 1, that is 1x. So notice, as soon as you figure out one column, really it's kind of like what we did with division. Use that piece that you just got to find something else, and use that piece to find something else, and use that last piece to find something else. Until you get your factors of x plus 3 times x plus 1. All right, let's try another one. This time I got x squared plus 6x plus 8. Let's go ahead and place these where they're supposed to go. X squared plus 8 and plus 6x goes at the bottom. In order to get my diagonal, I'm going to use my MA chart. I'm going to multiply 1 times 8, and that equals 8. And then I need to add up to 6. So what multiplies to give me 8? Well, 1 times 8 does, but 1 plus 8 is not equal to 6. 2 times 4 does, and 2 plus 4 does equal 6. So that means 2x and 4x are my factors. So what's the greatest common factor between x squared and 2x? X. What times x equals x squared? X does. What times x equals 4x? Positive 4. What times 4 equals 8? Positive 2. Is 2 times x 2x? Yes, it is. So my factors are x plus 4 times x plus 2. All right, this time, what happened is I have a coefficient for my x squared. I did before had the coefficient of 1. It's different now with the coefficient of 4. I'm still keeping the same steps. However, this is where your MA chart really becomes useful. 4x squared plus 3 plus 7x. MA, multiply 4 times 3 to get 12. Adds up to 7. What are factors of 12? Well, we just said 4 times 3 are factors of 12. Well, what is 4 plus 3? That is 7. So I have my two factors. Notice that a lot of times I use the two numbers that I just multiplied for my m, and I check that first before I continue on to other factors. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, 4x squared and 4x. Greatest common factor is 4x. Well, what multiplies by 4x to give me 4x squared? 1x. What times 1x gives you 3x? Well, that would be plus 3. What times 3 gives us 3? Well, that would be 1. Is 1 times 4x 4x? It is. Meaning my factors are 4x plus 3 times x plus 1. All right, you guys pause the video and see if you can do this one on your own. All right, so for this one, I need to make my box, fill in my box, just like I was doing on all the other ones. Make my MA chart. 6 times 4 equals 24, and I need to add up to 11. Well, 6 times 4 does equal 24. 6 plus 4 is not equal to 11. So some other factors of 24. 1 times 24. That adds up to give me 25. Not what I want. 2 times 12. But 2 plus 12 gives me 14. Still not what I want. 3 times 8. 3 plus 8 does equal 11. So 3x and 8x are what goes into my diagonal. Greatest common factor between 6x squared and 3x is 3x. Well, what times 3x is 6x squared? That would be 2x. What times 2x equals 8x? That would be 4. What times 4 equals 4? That would be 1. 3x times 1, that is 3x. So my factors on this one would be 3x plus 4 times 2x plus 1. All right, so we're getting into some negatives now. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can do this one. All right, so I got everything set up. Now I just need to figure out my factors of negative 12 that add up to give me 1. So 2 times negative 6, but 2 minus 6 is negative 4. That doesn't work. Even if I flipped the negative around, that would not give me positive 1. So I'm going to continue on to other factors. What about 3 times negative 4? Well, 3 minus 4 equals negative 1. Well, let me just change the signs. Make 3 the negative. Make 4 the positive. Negative 3 plus 4 gives me positive 1. So negative 3x and positive 4x or what goes into my diagonal. So for 2x squared and negative 3x, common factor is x. So x times 2x is what gives me 2x squared. 2x times 2x times 2, not 2x, that would be just a 2. And a positive 2 at that is what gives me 4x. And 2 times negative 3 is what gives me negative 6. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. So the factors are 2x minus 3 and x plus 2. Notice every time at the end, everybody, I am double checking that last box to make sure that it is indeed what I want it to be. Always do that. Whatever box you did not use to get the outsides, make sure you double check it, that it is giving you the correct answer with the outsides that you have. All right, that'll be it on the notes.